to the Interact Show. I'm your host, Nasir E. Thank you so much for joining us for our sophomore episode of the show. We appreciate the love you're showing us by watching and coming to interact on set. It wouldn't be a party without my DJ, New York's Dapper Trap DJ, Sir Ramon. Please show him some love. So, Ramon, we were having this conversation in our production meeting the other day about the vitality of hip hop, who's being swiped of their music, low artists who are like getting stolen, having their music stolen by artists like
Drake.
Huh? Right.
Yeah.
So, what was your point in that whole conversation? Because I remember we were going back and forth and everyone's like, oh, but Drake is so amazing. Like, he's like the soundtrack to our lives and like, oh my God.
Yeah, so like Drake is a good artist.
Right.
I love him as an artist, but
and we've grown up with him.
we saw him grow up. Wheelchair Jimmy. to
Wheelchair
more
Jimmy
life,
was
more life.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is that because he has such a audience, smaller artists who might not have been so mainstream end up getting jacked by Drake. They don't have the money, the audience, the power to be able to put themselves out there mainstream.
Yeah.
He gets a hold of a flow, a cadence, or whatever, and it's
just
his.
like runs with it. The thing about it though is it's like, on one hand, you sort of appreciate him doing that for the artists who would have never been heard otherwise, right?
He does what radio does,
Exactly. But then on the other hand, it's like, all right, so now you're gonna make everybody think that you created this whole like wave of being a Rasta man when in actuality, you're Canadian.
More life.
Right, more life. But anyway, I was thinking about this the other day because people always ask me, who is your favorite rapper? And they start with, well, do you love Nas? And I'm like, I mean, I love my name, but I'm not necessarily a Nas fan. I respect him as a rhetorical genius, but I haven't necessarily gotten into his music. So I went home and I was thinking about it and I'm like, okay, what do me and Nas have in common? So I went through like all these lists, like all these magazines had this list of like 56 things you didn't know about Nas. One of them, do you guys want to know? Yeah?
I want to know.
You want to know?
I want to know.
All right. So the first one being the fact that when Nas was 6 years old, he used to play trumpet. Multi-talented guy, didn't know. Never played trumpet though, not me, at all. Can't do any instruments. I can sing, but I can't play an instrument. So I found out that his dad at the age of 6 took his trumpet away, apparently because he didn't want him to have disfigured lips. So I was like, okay, well, how does that relate to me? So I remember when I was 6 years old, I was auditioning to become a ballet dancer. And I was like, I really was into it. Like, I was really into it. I came home that day and I was like, Granddad, this is what I want to do. And he was like, nah, we're not going to go that route. So in actuality, he took that away from me because I guess he thought I might end up enjoying to do something with my lips as I got older. But I did. I mean, as you can see, I guess we see how that turned out, but he couldn't prevent that. But anyway,
plot twist.
But anyway, so I kept going down this list and I'm like, dang, what else do me and Nas have in common? So we move on to like 6th and 7th grade and they talk about like how Nas is like apparently used to stab people with pencils. Is a weird thing. I know it sounds like we yes. It was something that I experienced. I don't know why I was into it, but that was like my only line of defense. I mean, I'm skinny, like I'm a slim dude. That was just the only way I could literally like defend myself. So I guess stabbing people with number 2 pencils was a thing. But in my mind, I result that to me and Nas just wanted to leave our mark on the world in some weird way. That's the way that we channeled it at the age of 12, 11 years old. So I kept going down the list. I'm like, damn, what else do me and Nas have in common? And, well, that actually wasn't what I was talking about, even though we do.
That's what him and I have in common.
I was talking about him moving on to become one of the greatest rappers of all time, and obviously me becoming a talk show host, which is what I'm here to do today. But on a more serious note, guys, we are here because today we'll be getting into the age-old argument about the vitality and legitimacy of hip-hop. But before we talk about that, we have to go to commercial break, so I'll see you when you come back to interact.
Which one? Oh, you want to hear my version of it? Shit. What? He wants to hear my version of Trillville, Some Cut.
Scratch. You got 10 seconds.
Okay, we'll
Go ahead. Said bounce.